Hello and welcome back to My Hero Academia Season 7 Episode 14. Today, what happened last week? Last week we had a Deku and Shigaraki fight that was pretty fucking awesome because last week we had all the gear switch stuff. I loved that. I really loved Deku's new quirk, quote-unquote new quirk. New to us. We're only first seeing it. It's actually one of his oldest quirks in terms of how long ago it was, how long he's had it. But it is a new quirk to us, and it was really cool. I loved it. I loved watching it. I think now they're probably going to start cutting away to other stuff because it feels like they did like a pretty major climax with the Shigaraki stuff. I feel like you'd want to. Also, I think the end of last episode had like a sort of pan to Spinner. That makes me think we're gonna focus on Spinner stuff this episode, but also it just kind of makes sense to me that we don't focus super heavy on the Shigaraki fight again, because we got to sort of tie up some of these other loose ends before we go back to it. I'd imagine. I feel like they might jump back to it for a few seconds here and there, but I don't know if they're gonna stick to that fight for a while. That's just what I think, though. I really have no idea. So we're gonna jump into this episode. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel. I'm a small channel, so everything you can do helps me out a ton. And go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, and you can get early access and exclusive videos for videos on this channel and videos on my Gent Watches One Piece channel. They're all on one Patreon. It's absolutely worth it. Go check all that out. But let's jump into MHA Season 7, Episode 14. Oh, this is probably Spinner? Spinner's backstory? Seems like it would be if it's like a lizard on the wall.
Never accept your kind, monster.
This looks like the shot from the ED in Shoji's backstory. Remember in the ED of last season? It looked to me like Shoji's backstory there, but that was Spinner. Unless those two are connected, like they're both family? I don't know. I don't know if there's been any hints of that. I love that shot of All Might putting his fist up, animated there. The way the like sweat flies off. Oh, they do have Spinner and Shoji paired up here. Where is Shoji right now? Is he on Spinner's area? I feel like he's got to be if they're pairing him up there.
He sent Spinner, a Paranormal Liberation Front leader, to retrieve him.
That's right. Spinner's trying to break out Kurogiri.
Again! Secure the perimeter!
Don't get pushed back. Pull a path through them.
Standing in their way were a few heroes.
Oh,
Whatever
Deadlock?
could be spared.
Well, I mean, Rocklock?
200 against an army.
Deadlock, I've been playing Deadlock too much.
A meat shield?
Damn. Oh, shit. Oh! Nice, Koda. Oh my god. Stop resisting!
Gonna be overrun. Hold the line with your taser shields.
Wait, is that the gorilla?
They've already got us outnumbered.
You know, the guy who gave a second chance to Gentle? Man, I would love to see Gentle again.
A mob.
Oh, you look like that one looks like a dog. I feel like if you looked like a dog, you'd be fine. Who could be mean to someone who looks like a dog?
Today is the day of your liberation. They send us
Well, you got the
counseling and quirk
you got a scythe arm.
We know that its bigotry is in the past, but make no mistake. They are feigning their remorse.
I was actually thinking of those three characters.
Oh, how highly educated they
But yeah, it makes sense. People think of them as like token diversity.
Right? Even the strongest light can't illuminate the darkness.
I wonder,
when you're seen as a monster.
does Nezu even count as a heteromorph? Because he's just an animal, right?
I know what you've
Probably different from the others.
And a new society. You won't stop us.
All right. Gotta take down Spinner. Oh god.
Don't know what man is saying.
Oh, are you feeling fuzzy?
Power keeps blanking out.
Oh, that really sucks. Like you were just a violence machine right now.
Words.
Oh, look at the rabbit.
do what I was told.
The rabbit's one of you. Don't do this. Whoa!
No!
Gum Gum Gatling from Shoji.
He's a traitor! Kill him!
I feel like we don't get to see Shoji fight that much. Because he's like the scout guy.
And you're dead! Have to do with attacking a hospital of all places.
Yeah.
First thing they did was make sure the patients and staff were safe. They kept every Are you going to do that too?
Or are you just gonna cause
No matter
destruction?
What happens or hasses, we will never accept
There's
your
Shoji.
kind monster. Why the silence, huh?
Oh, I love Ian
Think about
Sinclair.
everyone you could hurt.
Oh. Ian Sinclair's such a good voice actor. And oh Jesus.
Be able to forgive you.
And with Shoji, I feel like he hasn't been able to like flex how good of a voice actor he is. So finally he gets a moment.
That gives me even more reason to stop you here.
Oh my god, seeing his face is
Shoji's
very
voice.
strange.
Tell him, leader! You laid the plan out before! We're destroying
Well,
everything!
he can't really do it now.
What justice do you want us to enact for the cause?
This is All for One took away something Spinner had really well, which is like conviction. He's fucked that part up.
He's saying that history is only made through bloodshed.
Lucky this guy's
Killing,
around.
Sacrifices, and even that damn kid.
Seems like the
Spinner
heteromorphs are
too.
being pretty
They'll
heavily
ruin
manipulated.
everything.
Oh! Oh my god!
Now,
Jeez!
don't care anymore
Oh.
about anything.
It reminds me of the Class B guy.
Too.
Enough!
What did he say he played? Did he say he played League?
Talking.
Oh! I mean, it's Shoji. Getting rid of a limb for him is less impactful, but still fucked.
Shoji, you're hurt! Not to him! Shoji is...
Shoji's a great guy. He's so
Parents
nice.
Didn't have these kind of appendages.
Is a
Village
mutation?
hated me.
Oh, crap! I think I called you something mean before.
Such a beast.
Yeah, like a muscly octopus.
Yep.
I'm so sorry!
I don't
never
think
thought
he
you
took
were
offense
creepy.
to it.
I was just being stupid, I promise!
But that's nice of Mineta to
Natural
think about that.
of an octopus. My hero name is Tentacle, after all.
Yeah, true.
I've also. That's the whole reason I wear a mask.
To cover the scars,
Hide,
okay.
So people don't think I'm fueled by revenge.
Oh, I like that.
Been through plenty of hard times in my life.
I always just thought it would be because it was unsettling under the mask. Like, I didn't know there were scars there. I just thought his mouth would look unsettling. Or that he wouldn't have a mouth and that would look
Bad
unsettling.
memories.
Oh. He does have such a wide mouth, though. Oh.
Instead, I'll cling to the one in my body.
Of him saving someone. Oh. That's cute.
Oh, wow. He's so warm.
For that reason, I want to make sure the
Whoa!
one I leave behind
Coda!
is better than the one I know now.
What the fuck is this?
Coolest hero on Earth.
Oh.
The next generation has good memories.
Face perversion. Think about how you're using your anger. The
Oh,
choices
lovely.
you're
Ian
making.
Sinclair.
You know what it's like to be hurt because people have hurt you.
Man, the stretch of the arms. He reminds me a lot of Luffy right now. And I just watched Fishman Island, which is very related to this. There you go, Coda. Rip him apart.
Don't you dare laugh!
What the fuck? Coda? What is this? Well, President Mike's here. Can he do a live, like, explanation of Coda's quirk and why this is happening?
But this is who I am.
Oh,
There's a tall woman who had a difficult journey here.
I
asked her
love
to
that
tell me
woman
about
so
life on
much.
the outside. From what I heard, heteromorphs from across the country are
Oh!
heading towards Central Hospital.
Slime guy. Oh yeah, we saw him in a
I'd like to
previous
be the one
episode.
to face them.
Then I'm going too.
This season, I mean.
Sorry to ask this, Yamada, but can you be there to support my students?
No.
Get stronger with every class.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Look at them.
Doomsday Theory, right?
So much stronger than we were back when we called ourselves the Three Dumbingos.
Listen, Coach.
Really bringing back that Vigilante's
Can't be certain
backstory.
about the kid with faraway animals so you can tell them how you feel.
Hmm.
So, Koji, if you care about a person, don't let anybody laugh at them. Stand up and get mad in a good way.
Get mad in a good way. Oh my gosh. Just carry him out of here. Nice. Got rid of the main spinner thing. Ooh. Oh, damn, Shoji.
Don't let them take advantage of your scars!
Yeah. I love Shoji.
Then maybe they wouldn't have made your face look so scary.
Oh.
Won't go away!
What do we do now?
Oh my gosh. That person's face just being black dots.
You have the right to hurt them back! Follow me into the future!
I mean, he's putting together some more of an actual argument,
Strong
but
enough to crush concrete.
it's still very sort of simplistic. Shit, man. If they release Kurogiri, oh god, that'd be bad. Okay, so we get some Shoji focus for the first time really in the series, I would say. Like, Shoji's always been there and he's always been cool, and he's had moments of where he gets to say something cool or do something kind of cool, but most of the time I actually feel like he doesn't get, you know, any major moments. But I think also it's the sort of character that benefits from not, you know, like, even when he's not in the spotlight, it kind of feels like that's right for his character, because he was a very subdued, calm, relaxed sort of guy. I sort of trusted him, and I felt like I basically understood who he was and stuff. He didn't necessarily need a moment. Like, if this series ended and Shoji had never gotten a moment, I don't think I would have even really clocked it. I don't think I would have noticed. It would have just been something like, when we're going through at the end and saying like, okay, who got their moments, I would then notice. But otherwise it felt natural, like, you know, without it. But I do like the moment that they've given him here, especially when they add things that I saw that, you know, he had the mask, and I thought like the mask would have something to do with it. But my initial thought was the mask would have been because he actually doesn't have a mouth, right? I thought it would have been eyes, nose, and then no mouth. It would have just been like imagine Deadpool in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, like the really bad one, where Deadpool's mouth is completely sealed shut. So it's just like skin, and it's really like awful to look at, right? I thought that would have been Shoji, because Shoji can like create mouths on his hands and stuff, and often when he talks to people, he might create a mouth on his hand and go, rah, 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 hello there. So I thought maybe he didn't have a mouth here, and he always just creates a mouth wherever he needs, right, to do it. But because of that, you know, like, it looks unsettling. If you don't have the mask on, he looks creepy, and he wants to be a hero, so he makes himself look cool instead by covering it up. That was kind of my first thought. But I actually really do like the choice of, there are scars there, and he covers them so that people don't think, because a lot of the time when characters are going for revenge or whatever, they will show off their scars as like a mark of pride, like, look what you did to me, so this is why I'm getting back at you. You know, you can see what you've done to my face, the horrible things that you've done, so like you have to face that while you're facing me. But Shoji is almost like, I'm not doing this for revenge, I'm not doing this because of any of that, so I'm going to cover that part up because I don't want people to think that I'm doing this for any other reason than I want to save people. And I saved someone once, and it was the best feeling of my life. And I want to like hold on to that feeling because that's what matters to me. So I do enjoy that side of him quite a lot. And I mean, Shoji has always been cool in this show. He's always been someone I really liked and cared about. And I will say a big part of that also is Ian Sinclair's voice acting of Shoji is so good. I really love Ian Sinclair so much. You know, I when I think of Ian Sinclair most of the time, I think of the Kaguya-sama narrator and what's his name from Dr. Stone? I can't remember his name, but you know, the guy from Dr. Stone. And Tsukasa from Dr. Stone. And I love, like, both of those roles are very different, like, right? Like, the Kaguya-sama narrator is, like, sarcastic and, like, jumps between different emotions constantly and will go from screaming to being very smooth talking, and he will, like, go through this whole range, so you can see sort of Ian Sinclair's range with that. But then Tsukasa is a very, like, calm, collected, like, relaxed and charismatic guy. So it's great that, like, you could see all of that range, but then you can also see when he gets a serious character, the way he approaches it, you know? And then I've seen him in other stuff as well. But then I remember it took me a long time to realize that he was Shoji, because Shoji really doesn't have that many lines. And a lot of the time I recognize a voice actor more when they start to get emotional, you know? Because I think also as an actor, when you're doing emotion, it's like a lot of it goes to the same place. Like, you can have a character voice, like, hello there, my name is blah, blah, blah. Or you can go, hello, I'm this guy. And then you can do all of that. But then when you get to emotional, you go, wait, stop it! Don't do that! Wait, stop it! Don't do that! No matter what, like, it's going to come kind of from the same area, because that's how you show emotion. So it will still sound like the character, but you'll very often get like a lot, like the actor slipping through a lot more. And so, and because Shoji hadn't had many of those moments, and also Tsukasa doesn't really have that many moments like that, then I don't get it as much from Ian Sinclair. So if I had not known, I did eventually realize that it was Ian Sinclair in this, but if I had not realized that, up until this point, this episode would have made me realize it, because we get lots of his like actual yelling and emotion, and we get like proper monologues from him. And I just want to say he's such a good voice actor. I love him so much. I feel like he'd be a cool person to meet as well. He gives me the vibe of someone who just seems very nice and cool, and I hope that he actually is, because his voice and the way he delivers lines, but also I think I've like heard him talking in, I don't know if it's interviews or whatever, but I've heard him talking just as himself, and I've always thought he seemed like he was very cool. So I hope that he is, but his voice acting for this is so good. So like if nothing else, this episode was great for that. But I do think it was cool to see Shoji actually like get some love in this show. It is kind of a shame that like Spinner, because Spinner is given this power. Now, I've talked about in the past how I don't, and I talk about this a lot in like One Piece type stuff. Like I don't tend to like powers that are just like they become a muscly and less, you know, a Hulk power. That's normally what I call it, right? But they become a muscly and less intelligent beast or whatever. So because like I've always kind of disliked that when you sort of take away personality to add strength, because for me it's getting rid of something that I really care about with the character, which is the personality, you know. And it also makes fights, and this is part of the intention of the thing, I'm not saying this is bad writing or anything, this is just why I personally don't like it, is because it also makes fights less about the morals of it and less about the characters' motivations and less about the conversation they're having and the problem they're trying to solve, and more about the fighting, the destruction. And once again, that is very much within the intention of those powers. Like that's part of the themes of the story generally when they're trying to tell that. But it's just themes I care about less. So whenever like characters are given that sort of power, it is sad to me. And seeing this, you know, Spinner, who is like one of the characters in the Paranormal Liberation Front, who is consistently shown that he is actively considering the morality of the actions that they're doing, which I think is really interesting. Like it's not like he's saying, oh, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this, but he's actively thinking about like, are we doing this in the right way? Are we doing this abiding by Stain's principles? Like, is this, you know, like I like that our introduction to Spinner, and at the time, I don't think I appreciated this, but going back whenever I rewatch the season 3 episodes, I always appreciate that we meet Spinner. He looks like Stain, or like he's got, you know, the Stain get up and stuff on. And he, like, at the very start, he's like fighting people and stuff, and then Midoriya comes, Magna goes for Midoriya, and Spinner stops her. He throws the knife at her and goes like, stop! That's someone that Stain saved. That means he's deemed him worthy of being a hero. And I like that moment because it means Spinner's not just blindly following orders. He's not... Shigaraki gave them a list and said kill Midoriya or whatever, or capture Midoriya. I can't remember if he was on the kill or capture list. I feel like he was on kill. But, like... They said, you know, you're allowed to kill Midoriya, but Spinner went, no, because I'm doing this because of Stain, and Stain, like, deemed this guy worthy. I'm not going against my morals. So Spinner has been a man of conviction and thought. I think very much that's probably why All For One gave him this quirk. Like, you are too intelligent. you're too self-aware for this plan. All For One needs puppets that he can control. I mean, Shigaraki, he groomed Shigaraki to become more intelligent and to think about his plans more, to make more of this stuff, to build his body more, to have an actual place he stands from. And so it's like you could say, oh, well, if he just wanted puppets, he wouldn't have done all that to Shigaraki. But then what does he do? He takes Shigaraki's body. Like, He's partially controlling Shigaraki from the inside. He's literally puppeting him. So All For One, he does not want free thinkers. He wants people who are going to follow him no matter what. And Spinner had a chance of not doing that. But I think now that he's given him this quirk, it's much more likely that Spinner will just blindly follow the path that All For One has set for him, which is sad. It's very sad. But I can see why he did that. But yeah, it like for me, I hope that we undo this on Spinner, because I want to see Spinner be cool again. And then I also just want to say, like, they showed like Nezu, the police chief, the gorilla detective, and I think they maybe showed someone else as like an example of like, these are people, like, they try to make us think that heteromorphs are equal in society by putting some of them as high-ranking people, right? So it's like, yeah, chief of police force is a heteromorph, right? This detective who works on a lot of important cases is a heteromorph. Principal Nezu, does he count? Like, I mean, I guess the point is it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I guess this is the equivalent of me going like, you know, oh, he's not black, he wasn't born in Africa or whatever. So like, maybe I'm being offensive here, but I was just thinking like, he is actually, like, Nezu is actually a mouse thing, right? He's just an animal, but he has the intelligence of a human because of his quirk. And I guess why I'm saying that is not to, it's actually to go for the racist move, like the heteromorphic movement here, right? Because they, I guess not the racist movement. I shouldn't put it like that. They're the antagonistic movement to the protagonists because they're trying to destroy a hospital. But what I'm saying is, like, if I was on the heteromorph side and I was trying to spin the story, I would say, like, they're even, you know, pretending that Nezu is a heteromorph and, like, acting like that's successful diversity, but that's actually just an animal. So, you know, people love animals. That would be my point, right? People love animals, but they don't like humans who resemble animals and who resemble anything that doesn't look human. But since Nezu is just an animal, you know, they turn around and love him. So there's like a double standard there. I can see how you would be able to spin that against them. I mean, Spinner, he'd be able to spin the story, right? But funnily enough, I feel like Spinner's the type who, I don't know if he does spin many stories. I feel like he just genuinely tries to use the right evidence. He's just kind of on the wrong side of history with it. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, just since we saw the gorilla detective in this episode, it made me think about Gentle. If Gentle pops up at any point in the near future, I'm going to go wild. I love Gentle so much, and I've recently rewatched season 4. I'm now in season 5 of my rewatch, but I've recently rewatched season 4. I refound my love for Gentle. Do not tell me in the comments, manga readers, if he pops up or not. People sometimes tend to, like, when I say something like that, people go like, oh man, I wish Gentle showed up as well, but I read the manga and no, he doesn't ever show up again or whatever. Like, I hate when people do that, because that's a spoiler. That's a major spoiler. I know you're thinking like, oh, well, I'm saying something that doesn't happen. That's not a spoiler. That's a spoiler. That's a major, huge spoiler, because I'm currently, like, hoping that he will. So, I think I would love if Gentle did show up, because, like, they sort of talked about his second chances, and I don't think it's like a plot hole or anything if he doesn't. I don't think it's like a Chekhov's gun that they didn't fire, because it actually just would have been like a conclusion to his story rather than a setup for another arc. But I do think it would be awesome if it was a setup for him coming back into the story, because he's such a great character. Anyway, that's My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 14. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for the full-length reactions, early access, exclusive videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.